So I think that's an interesting thing because when I think about housing, one thing we got right on this channel is I called a housing crash in transactions. I think I was the first person to talk about the Fed broke housing. And I don't have a lot of good thoughts. I don't think transactions are coming back, right? In order to have transactions come back to 5.5, 6 million, which was our trend for years, we have to spark supply. Folks like yourself, folks like me who own homes have to be enticed. And I'm not enticed paying, an extra 200 grand or an extra 50 grand and doubling my interest rate. When you do the math, my mortgage payment would go up 300%. I'm like, nope, not even considering it. It's not even a consideration selling. So I just don't see supply coming back. I can't do the math and get there.
Um, I the only way I can really see a supply is coming from the builders. Like
But that
that's the only place that I
they're
can
so
that
like
I can
they're like
really
this much of the market, man. They don't build enough.
they can't, right? And like, if you go back to like, a time back in the early 80s, you would have been able to find a lot of builders.
Yeah, true.
Right? I mean,
Even 2004, 2005, there's a lot
right,
of builders. Yeah.
right. And this is something that I just think like it's hard to incorporate this into like the macroeconomic picture. But there was a time in which like the average dude, like he could work at a gas station, have a piece of property, stop by the lumberyard on your way home every day, and construct yourself a home.
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
that's something to think about. Like an average dude could construct his own home. That
Hmm.
doesn't happen today. How is it that like the builders are supposed to provide inventory if the average dude himself can't do it for himself,
You're
right?
right. Yeah.
So there's no inventory coming from that side of things. Like that's why I'm saying it's like the inventory has to come from the builders, and it,
You're
and
right.
it's not like, I mean, I don't see it happening there. You can recycle all the existing homes you want, right? But it doesn't provide any more inventory.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's just because you have a rolling over gives you an opportunity to maybe buy a house because you can jump into the mix of transactions that are happening there. But you got a certain amount of people who want homes, and you got a certain amount of homes that are available. That doesn't change without more homes, right?
You're
In
right.
fact, the supply of people increases, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's slowing down, it increases. And
Hmm.
now I also think about like something that mom and I had talked about when because we knew that we were coming on your show, or I was coming on your show here, so we were just talking about real estate in general. But like the baby boomer population dying off, leaving all these homes, like this is a big one that I hear, right?
Silver tsunami.
The silver tsunami. Yeah, exactly. Right. So now all of a sudden we're going to have like, the baby boomer population, which was a huge like concentration of people in a short amount of time that had been born, make it through the economy and kind of die off at the same time, leaving this flood of homes coming onto the market. This is kind of like the idea behind it. The only problem that I'm seeing with this is that just about every single person I know who has a house has multi generations living in it,
Hmm.
right? Whether it's their kids or their parents, right? So at some point, when this person passes away and leaves the house, there's already somebody there. Now, even if they don't get the house, they still need a place to live, right? So like even if it's not them in their house, there's going to be somebody else who's replacing them.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they still need a place to live. So this doesn't really add a lot of inventory to the home. Even the silver tsunami thing, I don't think is going to quite play out the way that a lot of people are thinking it's going to. You know?
No, I agree with you. I agree 100%.